Well, we are sitting down and we are going to be giving the fans what they want here. Since the video I posted earlier this week, everyone has wanted to hear Carly's side of the story. So what we're going to be doing is I have my laptop here in front of me. We are going to be watching back Roseburg's Saturday night A-main event. Carly's going to be giving her thoughts. I'm going to be giving my thoughts. And do you want to just tell the viewers, like, clear everything up before we get started? Like, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. I mean,
there was no issue after the race. It wasn't like I was mad or anything. I mean, I'll talk about it later, what my thoughts were, but I wasn't even, I mean, it's just racing at this point.
I think we can both agree. We were just, we're putting it all out on the line, and, you know, obviously maybe a little extra competitiveness played a factor into it, but what we're going to do is we're going to start with where Carly kind of jumped out front, how she lost the lead, how I got the lead, and then how we kind of started to go back and forth. So this is the single file restart. We're maybe 6 or 7 laps into it. Maybe just talk about how your car was, you know, what your goals were, what lines you kind of found fast, and what you were kind of trying to do to get out front. Because right there, you kind of got a little sideways.
Yeah, the track was definitely getting slicker in my opinion, and if I put my wing back, you know, 1 notch, it didn't help, and if I moved it forward, it didn't help, so I just left it where it was and tried to drive the car as hard as I could to try not to spin out. I think there was, yeah, that was the second time. There were like 2 times I got loose coming, entering 1, and then I just did like the diamond line at that point. Did
you feel like maybe your car was feeling that way because your tires hadn't fired off yet? Because a lot of us were trying to get our tires hot to kind of start creating some grip, and it just was taking a little bit of time.
Yeah, that might have been a factor, but watching this, and then, yeah, right there, that frustrated me just because it was a caution.
Look at
this. Yeah.
Okay, so we got to pause it real quick. So can you explain, because it's hard for the viewers, you know, how it's actually very easy to do what you just did there, how you locked up the brakes and half spun?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not racing. When I run the top, I don't have my clutch in at all, so it's not like, you know, and I didn't think that car would have kept going. I thought they were stopped, you know. And then when they cut down in front of me, I hit the brakes because I didn't want to run into them, and it just put me sideways, which at least I caught it and I didn't spin out all the way, so. And
I think it's a testament to QRC's brake systems. Like, they literally work so good. If you know, jump on them too fast, it's easy to lock up the rear tires, spin out, and obviously upset your race cars. So now I have the lead, and I guess to kind of talk about what I'm thinking, at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I maybe underestimated Carly a little bit. I didn't think you were going to give me much of a run for my money as long as I, you know, crossed my T's and dotted my I's. And this is the thing about racing in general. Like here, there's not a lot you can do. You know, you might be faster on the restart, but you don't get the greatest start, and then you're already getting attacked from third. And if you lose that second spot, your chance of getting the lead on a restart is very, very low. So now we have the Fast 4 Media angle. So I mean, what? Like going into this restart, what's your goal? Are you actually thinking you want to try to slide me into 1, or?
Well, that's the only way I possibly knew I could win, if I got that jump on you, or not necessarily like push you up the track, but stay like bumper to bumper, or I guess nerf bar to nerf bar at this point, just to stay right next to each other. And then once I hear your engine go, I just gotta go.
And I think another mistake I made, and I don't know if it was better or worse, but I went a little bit later in the box here. So I think that actually allowed Carly to get a better restart. And it overall, it didn't help my case, that's for sure. My 4-stroke launch, though, I was ahead of Carly, and that's why I was surprised, but I kind of got that hop into the corner, and I think that allowed Carly to make up a lot of time down low. And then the opposite,
yeah.
Now I'm getting attacked for a second.
So with one thing on that is, just with how slick the track was and dry, you really weren't on the gas in the corners. So I kind of realized that you actually rolled that first corner, and that gave me, that slowed you down, but gave me to be able to slide you there, I think.
And if anything, I think that's also a weakness of mine with my 4-stroke. At these little tracks, I can't be on the gas as much. Kind of, it depends. I mean, I can still run the corners really hard, but like watching...
I wasn't even on the gas.
But watching your GoPro, your tires are still spinning, where I'm a little bit more stop and go through the corners because of how the 4-stroke is, how much traction. If I drive it too hard, it bounces. But I mean, at this point, I almost went upside down there. Let's go back and rewatch that. So Skyler, you can't see, but he was slow because he thought the yellow was out, and I dove into the corner and I hopped his left front.
So yeah, they threw the yellow, but then they changed it to green because it kept going.
Yeah.
So it confused us all.
I'm lucky I just didn't go for a ride, because what happens is you hop that left front and then you start bouncing. And so this is where things get going a little bit crazier up front. So you were trying to kind of push me up here on the start. What was what's your game plan kind of for restarting this race? Because now you're on the inside.
So the pole's in the way as of right now. But if you realize I'm on the bottom, and I think what happened with you is you got on the gas and came down, and that's when I slid up because I realized you weren't there. But on the inside, I thought that maybe I could, because there was some grip down there on a good restart, I could get grip. So I figured that maybe if I just started down there but then try to confuse you a little bit, then I could get that jump.
And at this point, it is pretty much all mind games. So you see there, I figured I was just, no matter what, I'm sliding.
There, it just seems like you might have just hooked a right there or something.
Made some contact, and I was not, like I said, I underestimated you a little bit, how aggressive you were going to be. And you can tell watching this, your car has more drive than mine. I thought I had it there, and I mean, realistically, looking back, I was a little bit more mad in the moment, but looking back, obviously, you weren't trying to hook me in the fence.
Yeah, and it's not like I could have. I was just trying to.
It was just you lifted, and it's just we hit, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think at this point, we're all just trying to get through one. Whoever can win the race off of turn, and I was surprised you didn't block there. So, and I felt like that was one of my best moves, because now I have a little bit, a half a car length in between us. And I was not expecting.
So that wasn't like a right rear. If you play that back, I gotta watch that again, because I watched this all week, but I felt like, because I did the same thing in my heat race to the number 9 car.
You tried to square me up. I think it was just how.
Just stayed on the gas.
Well, I mean, I think part of it is just how we hit, because I'm trying to obviously stay ahead of you. We're not going to agree on that slider, because in my opinion, no matter what, that was probably not going to work on your end, but I understand the aggressiveness. And I think that's one thing I will say, watching this footage back, if there's something I could do differently, it would have, instead of going for the slide or die game of just going back and forth, it would have maybe been to change it up and try to just run the bottom, or not even leave a lane, because I kind of was half sliding myself, which still left a chance for the 22C, who would drive like a missile into the corner harder than me. And just watching it back, you were able to drive in harder on the slide jobs than I really could. And I mean, obviously it worked.
Holmes in the 22C battling hard with the 18.
I love what Ben says here.
It looked like Tanner had a one-way ticket to the front straightaway wall.
That's what happens when you don't lift.
So that was, and this is where obviously things go south. So a little brake check there on the start.
No, you were going up and I was getting pushed.
Yeah, I mean, just like I said before, if I could do anything different, I probably would have just lifted there, and if you slid up, I should have just rolled the bottom.
Wait, so why'd you pull off the turn?
I mean, there's only 6 laps to go. There's only 6 laps to go. My race was over, my front end. I felt like I was there, and then you started coming down, and at that point, I just kind of was, like I said, we're both, at least I was in the point of where I was just, I wasn't even thinking of the possibility of us wrecking, because obviously we had already actually made it pretty far without wrecking. We had obviously had given, not giving each other a lot of room. But to watch it back one more time for the video, I mean, there's nothing else new to see, but I know that poor 27, he absolutely piled into the wall. Was your car damaged at all?
Just the right front knuckle moved, or rolled forward, that's all.
Gotcha, yeah, I think my left front knuckle rolled forward, obviously, because when I hit your left rear.
After that happened, I stayed out there, and it wasn't bad. I could drive the car with it. It just under yellow, it was really hard to steer.
Yeah.
And I think my clutch might have been going away a little bit.
So, I mean, that's pretty much both of our sides to the story. Like I said, we're not going to agree on everything, but I just wanted to, I wanted us to make this because I want to let you guys know that we're cool. Like, we have not been like all week long, like, it's not like we hate each other, we're waiting to go out and wreck each other again. Like, we just both were putting it all out there on the line, and obviously it made for a good show. And I think if anything, as I said in my video, it showed your competitiveness, a lot of your progress as well, because I've never seen you throw slide jobs like that before, nor did I expect it.
Well, and it's kind of what you learn when you're in the back of the C main watching everyone else.
And that's true, you know, running Red Bluff, it's just, you know, it teaches you a lot. I mean, do you have anything else you really want to add?
I didn't think it was that dirty. I know you said in your video it was dirty racing on my part.
You know, and that was a little bit, I think, that was just a little frustration at the night, and like not having seen any of it back. And obviously it's easy to like look at things and, you know, get mad about some of the sliders, but in all reality, I think a lot of it, I think there was only the one move that I said, you know, I think that one was maybe a little bit, but other than that, just hard racing.
Nothing really too dirty. I mean, we're siblings. We just race hard against each other. I would have done the same thing to, you know, anyone else racing that hard.
Yeah.
Besides getting, you know, a right turned into the backstretch wall, that's about it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same way we would race each other at indoor go-karting, playing video games on the track. It's so yeah. Well,
actually, that same move you did when you speared me. I think 4 years ago in North Carolina, we went to an indoor go-karting. Tanner did that same move to me, put me right into the wall, and it actually broke the spindle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I said, you know, moving forward, we already both have put this behind us, and hopefully this kind of clears the air for you guys. So thank you for watching. Carly, thank you for sitting down. And we will be back at Roseburg in just a couple of weeks to compete for some big money. And both of us are going to be doing everything we can to put it in victory lane, and we're going to try to not have a repeat of the finish to this one. So we're headed sprint car racing, though, this weekend down in Central California. We got to leave here soon. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you all in the next one. Deuces.